You're listening to the Joe Kamo Show. Real sports, real talk.
All right, I got a really cool episode here today. I've got Nick Barnes on, a.k.a. The Flash. What's going on, Nick?
How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I came across your profile. Actually, I think it was like Sports Center did a video of you. For those who don't know, they did a video of Nick running a 4.14. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, I had Chris Johnson, CJ2K on, future Hall of Famer on, ran a 4.24. We know that John Ross ran a 4.22, I think, but he hasn't amounted to much in the NFL right now. But Chris Johnson, probably a future Hall of Famer, ran a 4.24, super fast. So I got so many questions about this. So, like, first of all, where were you when you ran this 4.14?
I was at the Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, watching the Chiefs play the Titans.
So the Chiefs are playing the Titans. I mean, Tyreek Hill, another speedster over there. So you're at this event, and what happened? How did you get in front of this line to run this 4.14? What happened exactly?
Actually, we was on our way. We was walking, and we was on our way to the stadium, and I looked to my left, and then I seen like a group of people just surrounding like the fences. I was wondering what they was doing, and I seen the grass and the timer, and I was like, okay, they doing a 40-yard dash. And my mom was like, Nick, you probably gonna run that. So I went to go check and see what was the fastest time. And they told me the fastest time there was a 4.7 or 4.6.
Wow.
And I was like, maybe I can, maybe I can stretch my legs a little bit, see what I can do.
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So I had to figure out what I had to do to, run it. And they said I had to like sign some papers and stuff first.
Okay, so you ran and then you just lined up. And was this accurate? Like the timer 4.14 is probably very hard to hit. I don't know how many people have hit 4.14. I don't think anybody ever has in the NFL Combine yet.
Actually, I don't know, accurate. It wasn't accurate because the time kept going down because that was actually the second attempt when I ran that 4.1. The first attempt was like a 4.36, 4.36, 4.35, if I can remember. That was first attempt. The second attempt was like you know what I'm saying, I'm getting right, started to stretch, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So what is your background? Are you a track runner? So what's the story here? And you ran that barefoot too, a 4.14, whether it was accurate or not, give or take, a couple milliseconds here and there, but it's still a fast time. So you're obviously very fast. Were you called, like, there's so many questions here. What's your story? Are you a track runner right now? What do you do?
I did play football in high school, but I didn't get as much playing time to where I feel like, I might need to play football in the next level. So I just stuck with track because I ran track as well. I've been running track for varsity since 8th grade.
So what can you run? You can do, so you do what do you do? The 100, 200, 400, like I watch Olympics, obviously, when it's really hyped up, Usain Bolt, obviously being super fast. Do you run the 100-yard dash, and what have you done with that speed time?
I ran the 100, I ran the 100-meter dash and the 200-meter dash. 400, it was whenever some days I feel like it to run
Right.
it. I know it's important to run it, but I ain't really running as much because I had a lot of events. Because I also did hurdles as well, but I stopped doing hurdles since my 10th grade year.
Okay, so obviously you're very fast. So what did you run the 100? What do you run 100 at right now?
Right now, I don't know. Because due to the coronavirus, my senior season was cut short, so I really, couldn't get back in my full potential because like my 10th grade year was like my downfall because I pulled both hamstrings and both legs the same year. So it really put like a downfall on me. But before I got injured, I say I ran like a 10.97.
10.9. That's your fastest time.
Fastest time right now. I haven't beat it yet.
Yeah, I mean 10.97, just to put that in perspective, Usain Bolt is a 9.58. So Is this something that you want to pursue? Because you're only 19. Obviously, the body needs more developing. You probably need to, work on your strength, work on certain things, probably get professional training. But is this something that you're looking to do? Are you looking to be the world's fastest man? Is that a goal of yours right now? Is that what we're working towards right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the game plan? Like for me, like I know you're a young guy, you probably got school, you probably got other things on the mind, girls, whatever it is. I remember being a young guy. It's tough to be a professional at anything, especially let alone try to run the world's fastest time. Do you have a plan in place? You're only 19, man. If there's any advice I can give you, or I'm sure I don't know what your strategy is. Maybe we'll hear it. But I'd like to see, like, what is the plan moving forward? Do you have the right coaches, the right people around you to help you achieve this amazing goal?
Honestly, no.
Fair
I
enough.
had like I used to have like one trainer, but he retired. He like no longer lives where I stay. So really, it's just been just me on my own. Working out the track because I have a track like right behind my house, and like I just go out there and just work.
Yeah, if I were you right now, again, you're very young, right? You've got some exposure. You were on Sports Center. You're on my podcast. Hopefully, this continues to grow. Maybe somebody else listens to this and says, "Hey, that kid's fast." It sounds like you're very raw. There's a lot of raw talent here, but I want to see this progress. Like when I see something like this and I see this talent, I want to see it being put to use because this is a legacy. This is something that you can create to build yourself up, your name and your family and your legacy, and your finances will be in check. I mean, you're doing really well at 19. I mean, there's a couple of guys I grew up in Canada that I think they ran a 9 point. I knew a guy like I think he ran a 9.9 something, and then after that he just kind of got overweight and just gave up. Like I don't know. So it's just about like sticking with it, I think, and maintaining what you currently have and building on that. So I don't know whether there's YouTube video because I don't know. This is why I'm doing this show because I want to learn about this. Like, is there anything that you could do right now, like whether it be an online course on how to sprint? Like, you got to look at aerodynamics too. Are you running properly? What can we do to shave down that time to bring it into the nines?
Um, Me, what I usually do is, like you said, I'll go online, like YouTube and stuff, and I watch technique videos on how to, sprint, fast form, you know, strides, endurance. Just watch all the videos, and I just put that into play on the track when I'm working out.
Nice. So where are you located out of?
Vicksburg, Mississippi.
And are you in school right now? What are you currently working on? What are you doing?
Um, I was in college, but I'm at home for right now.
Cool. And so are you looking at doing any type of schooling or is kind of like sports your main focus? Or is there any type of schooling you're looking at or anything to get into from whether it be medical, law, any trades? Like what are you looking at?
Um, Mostly trades. I'm looking at like electronic engineering because
Okay.
it's been like that's like a life goal, electronic engineering, because I love working on like electronics and stuff. And I got into the field of mechanics, like vehicle
Right.
mechanics,
Cool.
like
Cool. Yeah.
working
I
on
took a
car
trade.
motors and stuff.
It's tough. Like at your age, it's tough because you get everything thrown at you. Like, what do I do? I didn't want to be a lawyer. I didn't want to be a doctor. Didn't want to be a teacher, all the generic stuff. I took a trade. I took hydraulic technician. And then I realized like I got into the sales. I didn't really want to do that. There's no real, it's hard, right? Like, do you find that there's enough guidance? Cause I haven't been, 19 years old for a long time, but it's very hard to, to find what you're doing, but is running and track your passion genuinely?
Yes, it is because I've been fast since I was like, young, but nobody really, I ain't really having like no athletic family,
Yeah.
to push me to go out there and do like youth track or youth football or anything. Like I ain't know anything about this stuff until like eighth grade. Eighth grade, my junior high year was like the only year I ever got into like sports, like track or football wise. And I really didn't know nothing. Like it was kids out there that been playing since they was, younger. So I'm just not getting in the field. I was like, I ain't even hit my full potential yet.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like you got to realize how big this is. Like this is huge. You ran a 4.114, and these are professional NFL athletes. I don't think anybody's run that time. 4.14 is remarkable. Whether that machine was off by a little bit, give or take, and you did it like barefoot. Now, was there any training? Are you currently, what are you doing? What's your training like right now? What do you do? Do you diet? Do you work out? How often are you sprinting? Like, you didn't just get up in the morning and run that, did you? Or like, are you somewhat in shape right now?
Actually, when I ran that was around November.
Okay.
So I just got off for like football season, so I was in shape still.
Hold on. When did this run happen? Because right now, with the timing of this video, we are November 17th now of 2020. Does this 2019?
Yeah, it was 2019. The video ain't get uploaded till 2020 around what it was, March or April.
Okay.
So like the 4 yard, it been happened. It's just that I uploaded the video, later.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this happened a year ago. Okay. So has this motivated you? Are you like more driven after you did that? Or did it kind of spark a fire in you to say, hey, man, like I just ran a 4.14. I can do anything. Has this hit you in the head? Like, has it thought hit you like, oh my God, like I'm capable of anything now? Has that thought hit you?
Well, I always knew I was capable of doing anything. Like I knew my speed can get better. But I was most shocked about how like viral it just went. Like it just blew up instantly. I posted one night, wake up the next morning, boom, like over 100,000 people just saw it, and it just kept growing. But the spark in it was like, yo, maybe I can get better training and stuff now, since people can see, the potential I have. And that was what I was looking forward into with the video going viral, is to get better training and better coaching.
For sure. Has anyone else, like I'm not a trainer, I'm not a coach, and I'm not set to do anything like that. But if I was a trainer and a coach, I'd be like, hey man, this guy has got talent. This guy's got speed. He's a little raw. He's a little young. What can we do with this talent? Because I don't want to see it just, I don't want to say this, but go to waste, right? Like you want to harness this and you want to, you know, build momentum off it, right? Like I want to see you succeed, right? You're young, you're hungry, and I just want to
Mhm.
see you get the right people. So has anybody reached out to you at all at this point and said, hey man, like really reached out to you? Any good inquiries aside from like me and coming on the podcast and people following on Instagram? Obviously, you probably gain a lot of followers. Has there been any true inquiries yet?
Yeah, it was people coming, messaging me to get me like into like the schools and stuff like that. But the
Yeah.
schools they were trying to get me into, that was like far away, like out of the southern area. Cause I want to stay in the southern area, cause that's what I'm used to, like the weather wise and temperatures and stuff. Like I know up north it's probably cold and stuff like that. I ain't trying to go too far away from home. But people try to get me to different like colleges and stuff. But other than training wise, um, not really.
If I can give you some advice, this is what I've learned from my experience. It's very rare that somebody comes to you, and that's the honest truth. This is my experience. You gotta go to that. You gotta seek it out. But the nice thing for you is you can use this podcast. Say, hey man, check this podcast. We're talking about what I've done, my accomplishments. Joe, the counselor, has a pretty good audience. He's got a big following. He's got millions of downloads. He got me on his show. That's one thing. Check out my video. I ran a 4.14, whether it was give or take off by a couple milliseconds. It doesn't matter. I did this barefoot and I wasn't even in peak physical shape at the time I did it. Like you've actually got a little bit of resume. You keep building that, and then you can reach out to people. And hopefully you just gotta maintain the training. Really, don't you agree? Like you gotta keep training.
Yes, sir. Keep training, get more faster.
Like usually, have you studied some of the greats? Have you studied Usain Bolt? Have you looked at what he's done? Have you looked at his diet? Have you looked at how he came up? Have you looked at any of this stuff?
Um, Most not like the diets and stuff like that, but I watch his training
Yeah.
videos, and how and some of the videos that people slow down and just watch his mechanics and how his run form and stuff is, and I just learn off of that.
Yeah, because I don't have his age. Like I follow the Olympics, but like how old is this guy? Usain Bolt. I'm gonna Google it right now. Usain Bolt age. So he's 34. So I
Okay.
think when he broke that record, okay, I don't know how old he was. He must have been like I would say mid-20s, right? I think that's fair to say, right?
I want to say he about 20, 23, 24.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you've got a window now. So that's another thing we got to look at as well, right? Like if you're there breaking records, we got to look at like your age, we got to look at, all these variables, and you've got that window. And again, this is my advice. This is something you want to do. I don't want to push you here, but you got to say to yourself, you don't want to look back and say, oh my God, like I did this, I could have done this, but like I kind of wait. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying this is what I would be thinking if I were you. If I were you, I'd be like, man, I just ran this amazing time. It's an opportunity. I've got a good resume. All I got to do is just focus in, harness my training. And I've got this window between 19, let's say 28, where I could really, really make no pun intended, but I can make a run at this thing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, man. I think there's a huge opportunity here. Am I talking out of my ass, or does this make sense?
It's making sense. Sense.
Hopefully this sparks a fire under your ass, because I think that you should just try to do your own research, and you really got to grab the bull by the horns, so to speak, because again, nobody did it for me. When I started with the fantasy stuff, it's like people laughed at me. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, it's just fantasy football. Now I've turned it into like a 6-figure salary and beyond. Like it's good. Sponsors came on board. I've worked with some big sponsors, Hooters last year. I've worked with some big sponsors and stuff like that. It continues to grow. And then I added this Joe Kamo show to it, where I can do interviews like this. Because if I had just brought you on my fantasy football show, it's kind of limiting and people want to hear about fantasy. Now I'm putting it on both platforms for now and opening it up. But again, the point I'm trying to make is I had to earn everything. There isn't somebody that came to me and said, hey man, I think you're really talented. I think you talk really well. I think you got a good show. Let me put you here, here, here. It's like, you got to kind of do it yourself, and there's no easy way to do it. But I just saw some potential in you, and I'm not a scout. But I can, like, I'm pretty good at spotting talent because I watch football a lot and I know what's good, what's not. But the fact that you ran the 4.14 barefoot and you're pretty raw, right? Like you haven't had any, I guess, formal training is pretty remarkable, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think that you should get some training. So, I mean, I don't know. So like I said a lot. Is there anything that you're taking away from this that you can say, hey man, like I could maybe do something after this call?
I can say just more training. That's all. That's all I can say. But one thing I've been saying, I noticed I've been thinking a lot throughout this week, or like 2 weeks from now, was that for some reason I'm starting to like miss football a lot.
Yeah.
I'm starting to miss football because high school football, like, I was good. Like I ran the ball. It was hard for defenders to tackle me. And then the speed, I just didn't have like a good offensive line. But I mean, it's just that I didn't get that much playing time in high school.
What do you think hindered you from getting the? Well, first of all, what position were you? Were you running back or wide receiver?
I was a running back.
Okay, so why do you think you didn't get playing time? Were the guys ahead of you just performing better?
It was size. It was a size difference.
So what is your size and weight right now?
I am 5'6", 5'6", 155.
Okay, so that I'm thinking here for the 100. Now, again, I'm not an expert at this. I thought you were a little taller. That I don't know if that's going to be an issue because, again, Bolt, I don't know how tall he is, but he's got that long stride. So yes, your feet will move faster, similar to Tyreek Hill, shorter guy, super fast, right? And then you got, guys like DK Metcalf who could run fast too. So I don't know. This is the research that I'm saying that you should do. And again, people listening to this like, Joe, stop pushing the guy. He's a young guy. Leave him alone. It's like, no, man, like I can see the passion in you. I can see the talent. I'm just trying to give you some extra motivation. You're probably already motivated, but this is just me outside. Like if you were my son, I'd probably say the same thing, right? If you were my good friend, we just met, but this is my advice. But I would look into like people with like, what is the height requirement? Like again, I don't want to set a limitation, but I want to know, like, is it harder for a person who is 5'6" to achieve the record at 100-yard dash? What would you have to do? What would your stride count be for the 100-yard? I would do the math, lay it out, and then start working towards that goal and just run every day. But then also you got to watch injuries too, right? Because you don't want to burn out the knee impact and stuff like that, right? Like So I would, definitely dive in. If this is something you want to do, if this is something you don't want to do, ignore everything I'm saying, right? Like I'm not out here to try to push you, but I'm excited for you. And I
Yeah.
saw the talent and I saw the video and I was just like, man, this is pretty damn cool, honestly.
Yeah, it ain't you pushing me. It's positive energy. I like that.
That's
Everybody
it.
gotta have everybody gotta have positive energy. The whole world had positive energy. Everybody would be great.
Exactly. And it's like we're so divided now. Are you left? Are you right? Like at the end of the day, let's all come together and talk and find a common goal and work together to try to help people improve because it's kind of been crazy times. And again, I see the talent. I just want you to succeed. Like, and I didn't have any guidance. I wish that, like, going back to 19, I ran a 4.14 and somebody had this conversation with me because
Mhm.
I'd be like, damn, I got some talent. This is my passion. Yeah, I'm going to do academics and school and all that because I need a paying job, obviously.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, like, I think you have to find and pursue your passion. Like, I wish somebody said, Joe, you're really good at talking. You're really good at socializing. You're 19 years old. Maybe you should do this. But again, we didn't have podcasts back 20 years ago, right? Like it wasn't like a popular thing. So it was hard, man. There's just no real guidance at that age. That's what I found. Maybe I don't know how it is these days. So, I mean, hopefully you got something out of this, man. Honestly, Nick.
yeah, I do as well.
So I'm looking at your social guys. Make sure you guys follow him. It's so how do they find you? It's Nick Barnes, right?
Well, on Instagram or Facebook.
Instagram. I'm more of an Instagrammer guy, but like, how do they find
Um,
you on Insta?
they found me off of ESPN the Sports Center, but it's Nick underscore the Flash.
Okay, Nick underscore the Flash on Instagram. Check it out. Where's that video? I just had it up here. Do you have the video? Is it on your Instagram? Did you post it on your Insta?
Actually, I really didn't post it on my Instagram. I
How
posted
did
on
you
my TikTok.
how did
It
you
was
not post that on your Instagram?
because I even like it was already posted on my TikTok. Then ESPN already shared. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just not post it on the Instagram.
I want to see if I can find it here because I'm gonna hold it up to the camera and show people. I had it up. I just lost it. What date was that? Did they post it? Because I think they posted it more recently, did they not?
It was 3, 4 days ago.
3, 4 days ago. I had it up here. But you said this was a year ago. Why would they post it now?
Oh no, they been posted. This the third time they posted on Sports Center.
Oh, they posted it multiple times.
Yeah, they every I want to say every 3 months they posted.
Really? What is it like? They just like it, or what? Like, have they actually reached out to you, or they just post it?
They reached out to me and said that they wanted if I was able to get them rights to post the video. I said sure, and they posted it on every platform, so it get posted like on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
I can't find it
everywhere.
right now. I'm just trying to find it here. What date was it? If you give me a date, November. Trying
I
to
think
find them.
I think I got it for you. I sent it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let me go to it right now. So it was posted 5 days ago on Sports Center. So I'm holding it up right here. If you guys can see it on the camera here. But the thing is, my camera actually blurs it out because it's focusing on me. It's not focusing on the actual run. But why don't you you can use that repost app? You know how to use it, right? On your Instagram. Just repost it. And you guys can probably find it at Nick underscore the Flash, right?
Hmm.
All right, man. That's pretty damn cool. So I mean, it was a pleasure having you on, man. Honestly, like, is there anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to talk about? I mean,
Uh, I don't know for right now. I was just
by the way, I got to give you a lot of credit because you've never done podcasts. And it's like when I did a first podcast when I was doing this, it's like weird. It's like, what do I say? How do I do this? And the fact that you came on, I give you credit for coming on the show. And I appreciate you, man. Like, I kind of called you out of the blue. I'm like, hey, man, this is pretty damn cool. You ran a 4.14. I just want to talk to you. I want to pick your brain. I want to see
uh,
what makes you tick. What's going on? What's going on in your life, man? How can we expand on this? You're 19 years old, ton of growth ahead of you. So yeah, man, the fact that you even came on, man, I appreciate you. Honestly.
yeah, I was prepared for it. I mean, you see, I got the microphone and stuff, the camera. That because I do like live stream gaming and stuff. So I had it. I have everything set to
What are
do
you
a
playing right
podcast.
now? What do you play for gaming?
Apex, Fortnite, Madden 21, and Call of Duty Warzone. I'm gonna get in Call of Duty.
Hmm.
I might
Cold
get Call
War.
of Duty Cold War when it come out.
Are you looking at getting a PS5? If you do, we gotta smash some zombies together because I'm playing that every night. I'm getting good. I'm ranked 14th right now. Honestly, true story.
Uh, I'm sorry, but I'm Team Xbox. You know,
Your Xbox?
I left PlayStation like back in PlayStation 2 days.
Oh, come on, man. Is Xbox really the kind of the place to be now? The younger crowd, they like Xbox?
Yes, like the new Xbox, it got a lot of better performance, but it's best not to get it right now because people having problems with it. It's best to wait until like a couple months or so, let them fix everything, then buy the Xbox, the new Xbox to come out. But it's gonna be a while before I be able to buy the new Xbox. Cause my parents they don't have like the funds like that to buy, just a game right off the rip.
So,
So I
so you
really
know,
have to.
I grew up like that too, man. I grew up a very humble beginning. It was very, my parents didn't have a lot of money growing up. So that drove me. That was my fire. So, man, there's another reason for you, man, to run. You just got to run, man. I just got to go. You can do this. I believe in you, man. Like I said, again, I know it's hard because that difference of like 10.9 to 9.6, I mean, that's 1 second, but man, it's hard. Did you ever hear the story of the 4-minute mile? Have you heard that story?
Mhm.
I'm going to butcher this story. Here's the story though. It was like, I don't know what year it was. I think it was, let me look this up. This is going to be inspirational to you and all the listeners, but let me look this up. I want to get it right before a 4-minute mile. I want to see who broke it. Okay. So it was Roger Bannister. Okay. Age 25. He ran a 3:59. Okay. So there was this, and it was in 1954. So let me tell you the story. And again, I might butcher it, but I'm going to get as close as I can to the story. And hopefully this lights a fire under you. Okay.
Mhm.
There was a story that nobody could run. Think about how long mankind has been out, right? It's been out
Yeah.
millions of, I don't know how many millions of years. 1954 was when somebody ran a mile in 4 minutes. Okay. Check this out. Nobody believed it could be done. So this guy, Roger Bannister, I don't know how he did it. 25-year-old guy ran it at 3 minutes and 59 seconds. After that, remember all of humanity, all those millions of years or billions of years the earth has been around, nobody ran a 4-minute mile. He ran a 3:59. After that, I can't, again, this is where I butcher it. I don't know how many weeks after, months after, there was hundreds of other people, or like there's a ton of other people that broke that 4-minute mile. Why? Why is that? Because there was a limit in people's brains that said, hey man, we can't do it. But as soon as somebody did it, they knew it was achievable. So they did it. Right. So what I'm saying to you is like, if you set it in your mind, man, Bolt ran whatever he ran, 9.58. And I'm Canadian. So I watched Donovan Bailey. Donovan Bailey was a Canadian runner. I don't know if you heard of him. He ran a 9.84. That was a huge record back in like I think it was 96 Olympics. Don't quote me, but I think it was like the mid 90s or early 90s. Donovan Bailey, look him up. Have you ever seen that run?
You said Donovan Bailey.
Donovan Bailey. Yeah, look him up. He was a huge name in Canada. He actually ran the 9.84. So I have been watching track. I have a little bit of a track history watching, right? I knew who the runners was. That was phenomenal. You should have seen his face after he broke that 9.8. You got to watch that run. Watch it multiple times. So he was like amazing. You can look him up now. I think he's an entrepreneur. I don't know what he does.
Donovan
Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah, Donovan Bailey. Look up the 100-yard dash. I mean, this guy ran a 9.84. And at the time, that was pretty remarkable. Then Bolt just smashed it. And then there's another story. I think he ran with Michael Johnson. They did a 200-yard dash. Michael Johnson. I can't see here. Let me see. That's the guy. Yeah, that's Donovan Bailey. You got to watch that. When we get off, watch that run. And then he ran a 200 with, I think it was Michael Johnson. He was the U.S. guy that had the best 200 time. This is like the 90s, right? Michael Johnson, I think his name was.
Yeah, around 1996.
Yep. Michael Johnson, look him up. As an American retired sprinter, he won 4 Olympic gold medals on the 200 and 400. He's 53 now. So what happened was there's a story. These guys had a rivalry. So they're like, dude, let's run out. And I think they had like, okay, so you're good at 200, Michael Johnson. Donovan, you're good at 100. So it wouldn't be fair if we ran a 200 and it wouldn't be fair if we ran a 100. So why don't we run a 150? And this was like a huge event. And you should Google it. Like Michael Johnson versus Bailey 150. And I think it was 150. Again, this is like 25 years ago. So I'm just going off memory here. But when they ran it, Michael Johnson pulled a hammy. Like it was like It was
Ooh.
crazy because it was so anticipated. Like the shirts were out. Everybody was hyped up about this Michael Johnson versus Donovan Bailey. And then he runs. And then and a lot of people thought that because he was losing, he didn't want to lose to Donovan. He kind of pulled a hammy and kind of copped out. Right. But we
Yeah.
don't really know. And I haven't followed up to look that up, but check that out. It's just interesting to see, since we were talking sprinting, I had to share that story with you. But again, the 4-minute mile, it's happened, man. You could beat Usain Bolt, man. I could be talking. The listeners could be talking. And I can go back to this video and say, man, this guy broke the world record. He was on the Joe Kamo show. How cool would that be?
That'd be awesome. But I tell you one thing. Other than watching Usain Bolt, I kind of drift off from Usain Bolt a little bit,
Yeah.
and I started watching Christian Coleman because that's somebody I really can relate to. Because, like I said, short guy, he about what 5? He just an inch taller than me, 5'7",
Right.
and he running in the nines.
There you
And
go.
one thing I learned about him, um, from the looks of it, is his strength, his weight. You look at his legs and arms, he's like built. And I noticed most of the short runners that run like, you know, low tens or nines, they mostly, built.
Yeah,
They
for
mostly
sure.
built with a lot of strength and acceleration. Because one thing I watched about Chris Coleman, he is like fast at the gate, fast at
That's
the gate,
interesting.
like instant top end, and that's something I noticed I also do as well. Like it's instant top end speed, like quick, nice, quick, fast reflex. Leg reflex and stuff. It just that's
Yeah,
what
so
I.
you know more about this than I thought. Because when I was talking about the long stride and the taller guys versus short, because I don't know anything about that. It looks like you've already done your research. That's good. You should have said that. But no, that's good that you brought that up. So you are doing your research, man. That's what you, and again, it's like if you're passionate about it, man, you just got to get obsessed with it. Like, what makes these guys tick? What do they eat? What do they drink? How do they train? Who's their trainer? How do I get my feet to go a little bit faster? What kind of aerodynamics do I need? Right. Like, and then like it's just intervals, man. You got to know your intervals. There's just so much to this. And once you get it down to a science, because you probably have to get this down to a science, right? Because if you're going to break a world record and become the fastest man on the planet, like that is huge. But again, what I like is that you already hit a 4.14. I mean, that's crazy. And you're running a 10.9 at 19. So you haven't peaked yet. You've got 8 years of prime left, 8 years. But again, that window is going to go fast if you sleep on it. You just got to every day. Like that's what I do. You just got to keep showing up every day, and every day, man, just get a log, like write it down. Like, what did I do today to help me get that much closer to my goal? If your goal is the fastest man on the planet, what did I do today? Did I read a book on how to do it? Did I, get like today you're on the show. This is a step. Hopefully I lit some more fire under you. You're probably already like pretty, fired up. Right. So, today you took a step forward, but like, you just got to keep that momentum, that snowball effect going. Yeah, man, I appreciate this, man. This is a great talk. Better than, I didn't know what to expect because we never talked. I don't know what to expect. I just said, hey, I like this guy. I don't know you, right? So I just said, I'm taking a risk here. Turned out you're a super nice guy. Again, that's what I do, man. I like to take some risks on people. And there's a lot of people on the show that I never talked to, and I'm just bringing them on, talking for the first time. And I think I like it because it's like a real organic feel. And we didn't talk before. I said, let's not talk before. I want to learn about you on the show. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I just wish you nothing but the best. I think we should keep in touch. I'm going to follow your page, and I want to follow your progress because I'm really excited for what this could be here, honestly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a progress. I'm gonna be still training and stuff, and I'm also gonna be training some of the kids at my old high school.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of them that looked up to me this past following year, and they were sad to see me go. So I told them I was like, next track season I'll be back and we can get some training and stuff in. So
yeah, man, do it. I lost my dad. I don't know if you know, but I lost my dad. That drives me. So, if I had an opportunity to be successful to help him, because he didn't have a lot of money, I would. Last thing he said to me was like, hey, Joe, can I have $10? Like, he didn't have $10. Next day, he dies of a heart attack while he's cutting the line. Like, I never really got to, show him my success. Like, he's probably watching down, but, make your parents proud, do it for them. Cause you only got 2 parents. That's it. Like, that's it, man. Like, you only, You know, you can't, they're not replaceable. Like you can replace the Pope, you can replace the president, you can replace you can't replace your parents. So you just can't do it. So, you know, that could be your why. You know, once you find your why, you can definitely help propel everything else moving forward. Honestly, that's what I found, you know, once you find your why. So yeah, man. Nick, thanks, man. Nick _ the Flash. Check him out on Instagram. Nick, man, it's a pleasure. And let's keep in touch, man.
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe, and lots more great content coming on the Joe Kamo Show. Thanks, guys. We're out.